This was one of the later phases of our renovation campaign. We were replacing all of the windows in our building. The building is 112 years old, so we were definitely in need of some new windows. Having new windows in such an old building is very beneficial. The old ones were not airtight at all. They'd move when the wind would blow. They weren't very sound. So having some new windows really helps with keeping the heat in the wintertime and keeping the heat out in the summertime. These also let in a lot more light than the old wavy glass did. It makes it a much more inviting space, and I think most importantly shows the community that we're still invested in having them have this place for their use. Well, literacy is incredibly important, especially in young children as they're preparing to go to school and use those skills for more and more difficult things. The library is a great place to start out because it's available to everybody. We are incredibly grateful for all the funds we received, especially from the Marquette Community Foundation, as without it we would not have been able to complete our renovations.
We requested a grant because I started coaching here and I discovered the new mat was 35 years old and the old mat was closer to 40. They weren't safe anymore for the bigger kids to be wrestling on. The edges were breaking down, so you couldn't tape them together. So you wrestle around and they split, and so somebody would fall in the hole and be hitting concrete floor. And so we had a couple minor injuries and we wanted to prevent any big injuries, so that's why we asked the request for the grant. Without the help of the Marquette Community Foundation, we would not able to have the mats that we have now. They're fantastic. The kids can move them around, they can pick them up, they can carry them. Our old mats, they struggle to roll them up. And here we can have a 35-pound kid roll them up. Wrestling's a great sport because it helps in a couple different ways. You know, it helps them getting out and being active because it helps them get stronger, it helps them get more stamina, more flexibility. But the most important part about wrestling is not the physical aspect, it's the social aspect, because when you're on a mat with somebody, you break down a lot of barriers. You can be wrestling with somebody who you may not know or may not even like all that much. But as soon as you start competing against each other and I'm pushing you, you're pushing me, and all of a sudden we start to develop a little bit of respect for each other, and then we come with understanding, and it helps break down a lot of barriers. With this money, we're going to try to schedule 2 dual meets here next year, and I'd like to have a UP-wide middle school tournament where we bring in all the middle school teams and hopefully come up with a UP championship for middle school for wrestling.
A few years ago, we received the Land Water Conservation Grant, and we had to raise 50% of the funds. So when we applied to the Marquette Community Foundation, we needed to raise close to $100,000. Without raising the 50% to match the grant that we received from the federal government, we wouldn't have been able to build this building at all.
It was very monumental in getting that money so that we could build this wonderful hut and just so we could have a place for us to all gather after our skiing sessions.
From the ski club, we have our Ski Cap program, and that is skiers, children's skiers ages 4 up until like 12 through the middle school. And then we have a middle school program which is called the Prep Team, and they ski out here, as well as our high school team.
It's a great way for kids to get outside and ski and get some exercise. A lot of them make friends and they learn a new sport, and it's great for a lot of parents too that get to learn and join us in Ski Cats, and they learn a lot as well. So it's a really good family experience.
Once you're out here enjoying fun on the trails, just a lot of stress leaves your mind. And before, a lot of kids, when their parents were waiting for their parents to be picked up or dropped off, they just had to wait out in the cold, and you know how cold it gets up here, so it's really cool. And not to mention the bathrooms and the water, and it's super nice.
The warming hut is open to the public. It's open all winter long, 7 days a week. It's open to everyone. There's no membership required, and we're hoping to open it in the summer at some point as well too.
Our program here at the K.I. Sawyer Community Center really focuses on positive behavior reinforcement, and we provide structure and a facility where kids can come. We consider ourselves a safe haven for kids in the community. A lot of, not only kids, but just members of our community benefit by coming here when it comes to our events that we have and host, as well as our food program. We have people that really rely and depend on this center to be here and really flourish from its presence. This community center is very unique because our age demographic is very wide. We have kids as young as 5 and as old as 18 or 19. never know who's going to be here on any given day. So it's very interesting. The climate is always changing. But ultimately, what always holds the kids together is the friendships that they build here. It's a very, very large family in a way. The kids that come here, especially the kids that come here regularly, feel very comfortable here. They feel as if they can express themselves in positive ways. The K.I. Sawyer Community Center promotes literacy to a very high degree. We really want kids to be reading. It's very important. We offer a library service to not only kids in the community, but anyone that would like to come, and they can check books out for a 2-week period. And they can always, extend the period if they haven't finished the book. But we have a lot of people, young and old, that are interested in reading, and our library helps facilitate that. Currently, during the summer hours in our summer season, the Gwinn Area Community School Meal Program provides a breakfast snack when the kids first get here at 11, and then they also provide a lunch at 12:30. Following the lunch, we provide at 2:30 a snack, and it's available to the entire community, not just children, once again. And we also provide a 5 p.m. community dinner every night, and that's open to anybody that would like to come. The grant from the Marquette Community Foundation has been very beneficial and helpful to all of the members of our community who attend anything at the K.I. Sawyer Community Center. We've been able to purchase arts and crafts projects as well as several outdoor and recreational products as well.